Hey y'all, we are the Updike family located in the mountains of Tennessee. We're excited to share our homesteading journey with all of you. From the farm to the table, we'll share the ins and outs, the ups and downs, from recipes and how-tos to our adventures of running a homestead. So come on in and join us. From our home to yours, welcome to the Updike Family Homestead. Hey y'all, and welcome to the Updike Family Homestead. I have been asked to do a video or a tutorial on how to clean cast iron skillets. And cast iron, if you've ever watched any of my videos, cast iron is one thing that I really enjoy cooking on, probably more than anything else. Of all the pots and pans in my house, cast iron is definitely a favorite. And so that's what today's tutorial is going to be about, is how do you clean after you've used them? Because if you're not familiar with cast iron, you cannot use soap and water because it will ruin the cast iron skillets or the pans that I'm using today. So I'm going to turn it around to show you guys the skillets that I use. Now, one of them I actually left last night because I didn't feel like doing the dishes last night or taking care of it. But I grilled a steak on a grill pan cast iron skillet here in the kitchen, and then this morning I made French toast. So I have two different types of skillets here. One of them is a grill pan and the other one is just a flat bottom smaller skillet that I used for the French toast. So you're not only getting two different types of cast iron skillet, but you're also getting two different things that were made. So one of them is a lot more messy than the other one. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the grill pan here, and on this side we have the flatter skillet, the smaller one. This is obviously the one that I used to make French toast this morning. This one I used last night to make some steak, and it was so delicious. Both meals were absolutely delicious. So the way that we want to get started here is we want to go ahead and heat up the pans. And then, while they're heating, you're going to take some water and you're just going to kind of do enough to kind of coat. So obviously you don't need too much on this side because this one is not as deep. It's a very shallow flat bottom pan. And then we'll do the rest of the water in the grill pan. We're going to let that come up to a boil. Once it is at a boil, we will turn the heat off, let them cool down slightly to the touch, and then we'll continue the process. Okay, as you can see, this one is already coming to a boil because there's not really a whole lot of water in that pan. And basically what this is doing is it's cooking all of the yuck that's been left on the pans. So it's just kind of cooking all of that off. This one is now also starting to boil. We'll let that go for a little bit longer. This one I'm going to go ahead and turn off. This one is really yucky. I'm wondering, let's see here if you can see in all of the grooves, there's leftover giblets from where I cooked the steak last night. Now I do want to mention, while this is boiling, that you want to be really careful. Cast iron is a natural conductor of heat, so you want to be sure that the handles are not too hot. So like this one's obviously going to be a little bit hotter because it's been on the heat longer. Whereas this one, I can touch it. It's not hot. There's no, for the closer I get to the actual pan, it's super hot, but we'll be okay. Now there's two things that we're going to be using to clean as far as tools are concerned. One of them is just a scrubbing brush, no soap. the other is a walnut scrubber. I like to use the walnut just because it's more natural. It's not steel wool, so it's not gonna shred the coating off. It's just gonna get it clean. So this one is ready. While this one is still boiling, I'm gonna flip the camera around and we'll take it to the sink. All right, so we're over here at my sink. I'm just gonna pour this water out. I'm going to wet my walnut scrubbing brush or scrubbing pad, and then just gently scrub everything away. Like so. And you can see that the skillet is now clean. All right, so moving on to our next step. All right, so this first skillet has been cleaned. Now I'm gonna take some paper towels and I'm just going to wipe it dry, like so. Now, every once in a while, you're gonna want to really do a deep cleaning. And when you do that, that's when you can use soap and water and really get it nice and clean, and then you're gonna wanna re-season it. So that is not this video. We are not re-seasoning this. We're just doing a daily care after we've used it. I just sprinkled a little bit of olive oil on there, and I'm just coating the skillet. And then I'm gonna turn that heat on to low, just so that we can kind of let that set up for a minute. All right, so now it's time to move on to our grill pan. And this one is gonna take a little bit more love because like I said, I cook steak. So there's a lot of juice and giblets and grease that got left on there. And it's almost cool enough now. So I'll go ahead and move this one over to the sink while this one is setting up. All right, so we're ready to begin. Now this one, I'm going to be using the scrub brush because I wanna make sure that I get into all of those nooks and crannies. And I have my little pot holder here that, just in case I need to hold on to it, I'm gonna run some water over it. And then I'm just gonna take my scrub brush and go back and forth, making sure that I just get all of that left over. I think cast iron is a little bit more intimidating than people, or not as intimidating as people think. I think it sounds like, oh, you know, I don't know how to take care of cast iron, so I can't use it. But it's really not that hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it. All right, so that has been all wiped off now. I'm just gonna rinse it off. And I see one more little, there we go. All right. And then just kind of let that excess water drain off. We're gonna move this back on over to the stove. Okay, and we're back. This is now ready to just have a little bit of that olive oil spread on top, and then just take your paper towel, making sure to get in between each one of the nooks and crannies there, the grill marks as you can see them. All right, now I'm gonna let the heat kind of set that up. This pan that we did first is now ready to go. It's dry, it's clean, and it's ready to be used the next time that I'm ready for it. All right, guys, and then the last step of your cast iron care is that you want to make sure that you properly store your cast iron skillets to make sure that they don't get contaminated with other things and that they stay nice, a nice skillet for as long as possible. So you can see here that my husband actually built me this cast iron wall. He used pallet wood, and he and my son sanded the pallet wood down, so it cost us nothing to build. We use this out of just repurposed and recycled materials. So whenever I am ready to use a piece of my cast iron collection, I just go over to the wall, pull it off of the hook, and it's ready to go. All right, guys, that's it. That is how to take care of your cast iron skillet. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a blessed day.